I'm so excited about today's projects. I've got 3 Dollar Tree DIYs to share with you, all creating this cute cake set. Can you believe this is one of those $1.25 cake carriers? I've done napkin decoupage on it. How adorable is that? It locks into position so you can carry your cake in it, or you could just display it on a party table. I'm also going to show you how to make a napkin holder using one of those crates, and I'm going to show you a cute little simple centerpiece. You could put plants in here, utensils, napkins, whatever you want. All of this is done with Dollar Tree goodies, even the little spring napkins. I'm using dishwasher safe Mod Podge so that you can hand wash this and it's party friendly, and I'm using a little bit of sparkle Mod Podge too. I'm Cathie, this is Make It with Mod Podge, and let's get started. So the first thing I'm doing is removing the labels, and I'm thoroughly washing the lid. This is a two-parter, it just unclips. Once it's dry, I'm giving it a coat of chalk paint. This acts as a primer, plus it'll make the colors of the napkin really pop through. I'm not painting the bottom lip, and I'm not painting the top. And you can see that I'm just gonna wipe with my finger while the chalk paint is wet. I'm using some cute spring napkins from Dollar Tree also, but I'm only using that top printed ply. So go ahead and separate the plies. And then I'm going to cut this down to size. I'm using dishwasher safe Mod Podge because I want to be able to hand wash this. I'm not going to be putting it in the dishwasher. I think of these as sort of specialty pieces. I'm doing a nice thin coat, but even coat of the dishwasher safe Mod Podge onto the painted lid of the cake carrier. Now there's that top printed ply. I'm just spritzing it with a little bit of water, and that will help the napkin with any wrinkles. And then I'm going to place it right onto the carrier. And don't worry about that top area. We're going to actually peel that away later. So make sure that your napkin is larger than the space that you want to do. And it's still damp here. You can see I'm working it into position. When the napkin is damp like this, it's pretty flexible. And then I'm pressing with my fingers to remove any wrinkles. And I'm just working my way all the way around the outside of the cake carrier. Now for this napkin, I did have to piece it together, and I pieced it together twice. And there's different ways that you can do that. You can see here, I'm just pressing with my finger to remove wrinkles while it's wet. So the first way for piecing that together, and my favorite way, is going ahead and just tearing that edge, and we're going to piece it right onto that one. By tearing that edge, it's going to give us a little feathered edge, and it's going to blend into the other napkin pretty easily. So go ahead and add more of that dishwasher safe Mod Podge, and then we're just going to add a little spritz to our napkin again to help with wrinkles, and then we'll just place it right up against the other pattern. For this type of technique, really when you have these all over sort of floral designs or all over patterns, it's a lot easier to piece together. If you were doing lines or checkerboards like that napkin in the background, that is much harder to piece together. So you're going to continue doing that all the way around the cake carrier. And just smooth with your fingers. Now to remove that top, I've got a damp paper towel, and I'm just going ahead and dampening that edge and then tearing it and using my fingernail. You will get a tiny bit of a feathered edge, but I did some experimentation, and this is the easiest way to remove the extra paper. If you wanted to cut it precise, you could try that, but it's very difficult to do. Now we're going to top coat with more of that dishwasher safe Mod Podge. And for this project, I did 3 top coats of the dishwasher safe Mod Podge. I had a dry time in between each top coat, but that top coat really seals that down. I wanted to add a little bit of sparkles, so I'm using the Mod Podge Sparkle. It goes on milky, but it dries perfectly clear, but with ultra fine glitter. So I'm just painting that over some of the flowers, and that will give me a really delicate sparkle look. Look how adorable that turns out. Lock your cake into place and you are ready for a party. Next, we're going to do that Dollar Tree napkin holder. I've matched some corally pink paint to the flowers in my napkin, and I'm painting one side of the little Dollar Tree mini crate with the paint. I'm making sure I get that top edge. And then I'm going to napkin decoupage around the other sides using that same napkin. So let's go ahead and prep that out, just using that top printed ply, and I'm using the same dishwasher safe Mod Podge. I'm not really going to be washing this, but this is just the formula that I had on hand, so you could certainly do this same project with gloss, matte, or satin. I'm going to spritz my napkin again. So the spritzing technique works really great on wood, plastic, metal, whatever you're Mod Podging. I'm going to go ahead and put that down on the back side. Let's smooth that down with a brush. And then we're going to go ahead and Mod Podge around to the sides. Don't worry about that little hole. We're going to pop that open later. Let's get that secured down. And I did that to all the sides. Now, once it's dry, I'm trimming off the extra. For this project, the trimming works better than the feathering technique. Let's go ahead and trim that away and poke a hole on those sides and go ahead and remove that paper the best you can. You can always paint over that inside hole. And now we're going to add the Mod Podge over the entire thing, and that will seal down that napkin and make it very user and party friendly. Look how gorgeous that is coming through the wood tone. I just love it. Now I'm going to add a little bit of pink paint to the top there just to finish that off. And then I found this love patch at Dollar Tree also. So we're going to go ahead and just hot glue that to the front. I think this is so cute for any kind of a wedding shower, any kind of party like that, but they have all kinds of different types of things you could add to the fronts of these. You can add just a ribbon and some silk flowers if you wanted to. Look how precious this is, and it perfectly holds cocktail napkins. All right, let's do a little quick centerpiece. Again, this could be for utensils, it could be for flowers, a plant, napkins, whatever you want. I'm doing that same technique where I put a little chalk paint down. Here I'm going to feather the top by adding a little bit of water. That's just water and a paintbrush, giving me that feathered edge. And I'm going to use that same formula. I like using dishwasher safe Mod Podge when I'm doing anything that might hold plants or flowers because it just makes it more water friendly. Adding a thin coat there, spritzing my napkin. This one was a little bit tricky to Mod Podge, I'm not going to lie, because I wanted to keep that beautiful logo in the front. So I went ahead and I only added the Mod Podge to where the logo wasn't. I'm putting the napkin down, and once it's dry, I will peel the napkin away from that area where the logo is. Let's go ahead and add more Mod Podge, and I'm working all the way around the canister. I can't believe this gorgeous little canister was at the Dollar Tree. It was so cute on its own, but to make this coordinated look, I just love it. All right, let's seam up that napkin there. You can see how that feathered edge really helps it blend. Now we're gonna go ahead and give it a top coat. Just pushing all of that extra napkin to the bottom. Now, once it's dry a little bit, but the napkin's still a little wet, you can go ahead and peel away that top edge, all of that extra napkin. And this is where it's a little bit tricky. You're gonna have to peel it away. You can use a little sanding sponge here, but it was a little bit tricky on that one, so I found that the peel away technique worked better. Now I'm going to top coat it with the dishwasher safe Mod Podge. Again, I did 3 top coats. Love it. Thanks so much for joining me today. I absolutely love how this cake carrier turned out. Now, I did use dishwasher safe Mod Podge. I'm not planning on putting this in the dishwasher, but I wanted it to be hand wash friendly. I think this is going to be my new go-to party project. Look how cute that turns out. And of course, we've got our little accessories too. I'll be back here next week with another fun project to share with you. And until then, have a super crafty week. Bye.